Please describe your job title and primary duties.
So I was a cashier. Customer service. I worked at the front and both on front and drive-through. So it just kind of depended on the pace as to where I was. The front was more obviously face-to-face interaction, customer service. Drive-through, obviously speaking clearly, making sure to read back the order, things of that nature. Handling money, you were constantly being recorded. So just kind of being honest, making sure you're not stealing anything, basically. I didn't do anything beyond cashier, so that's pretty much it.
What was the work environment like?
It was pretty fast paced, as is pretty much all fast food. They attempted to harbor a good work environment. It was pretty decent, but once kind of the pace started to pick up, it completely changed. I mean, usually most places do, but it turned into a pretty negative environment. There was no room for mistake or anything like that, unfortunately. But there was room for growth. So, you may get in a little bit of a scuffle during the fast times, but afterwards you would be explained to why this happened and things of that nature. So there was room for growth, but bad skills during the time of need, I guess.
What was your favorite part about working there?
Honestly, probably the incentives. They really, really push those surveys that like every drive-through you hear about. And it's the chance to win $500, so I feel like that's why most people do it. But if you got a good review, you'd get like a free meal up to $5, $10, depending on how many you got that day and things of that nature. You could get gift cards and just kind of different things like that, depending on, like if it was a busy holiday season, instead of free meals, you could opt to go and enter into a drawing for a $25 gift card or something of that nature. So that was pretty awesome.
Please describe the application and interview process.
It was pretty simple, just the stereotypical name, birthday, where you've worked previously. I do not recall any references needed or anything like that. It was fairly simple, very, very user-friendly. They had both paper and online. I did it through paper. It was a walk-in application interview that I did, so very, very simple, very user-friendly.
What questions did the interviewer ask during the job interview?
It was pretty simple. They asked me kind of my skills, if I had ever had a job in fast food, which I hadn't at the time. This was my first job inside. I had worked somewhere previously in an outdoor facility. But if I had ever worked with money, I was interviewing for cashier. They asked me a few math questions to kind of gauge my math skills, just kind of a quick change, stuff like that. Also, they asked me about customer service, gave me a few possible scenarios just to kind of walk them through what I would do if, an angry customer came in, if a deaf customer came in, if someone who didn't maybe necessarily weren't able to read the menu, how I should go about that, just things of that nature.
How were you notified that you received the job?
So due to the fact that they were walk-in application interview, I actually found out that day. And then when I finally, started training, it took about 2-3 weeks to finally get into actual training. They did 1 or 2 days, I do believe it was 2 days the week before I actually started, of like computer training, serve safe, stuff like that. But I had been offered the job the day of my interview, but I found out that like they were very, very low staffed, which is why they were doing that event.
What set you apart from other candidates?
I personally like to say that I have extremely strong customer service skills. I've worked in customer service since I was 13 years old. So, and my whole family is customer service in one aspect or another. When we greet each other, hello, how's your day? It's just kind of second nature. So I feel like kind of being the face of the store, everybody in the kitchen's in the back, behind a wall, you can't see them. So I was kind of like that first face that they got to see. So I feel like my customer service interactions kind of helped set me apart from everybody else.
What other advice would you give to a job seeker looking to gain employment?
I would come in with some skills. Like I said, definitely during those fast-paced times, it's definitely necessary because when everybody's kind of in that bind, you may not have a good interaction if you were to ask a difficult question or something like that. So maybe just coming in with some skills or even asking those questions beforehand. I know some are like situational and you never think to ask until it comes about, but try to come in with a little bit of skill before kind of diving into the job.